Get there online, honey. Oh, hey everybody, it's me, the Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. Guess who was late? Not me. But it's still Monday night and this is still Twisted Stitches. Thanks so much for being patient and waiting for us while Yarn Boy had to go home and get the dogs because it's a family affair.
It's a family affair. I got to get the dogs.
God bless me. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. If you all wanted to see what life is like at the Myers, this is it.
Oh, man.
And we even have a guest.
Not just any guest, a special guest.
Who is it, Paul?
Hashtag the Doodle Designer.
The Doodle Designer.
Doodle Designer. That's a new hashtag.
Yeah, the new hashtag.
If you
Whitney Terrell is on the show.
We love hashtag Doodle Girl.
That's it.
Hey, everybody. It's really nice to be here tonight. Whitney is joining us, and we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight because we've been talking all day about the great projects that we can. What are you doing? You're photobombing? Are you photobombing? Oh, it's not all about me. Oh, no.
Never.
It's not about you, Paul.
Never.
So we've been talking all day about the great projects that we can do during the summer. And what I'm really excited about is that Whitney's living on the coastline now.
Yes.
Yay.
So, yeah. So have you finally settled?
We have.
Yeah.
We have finally, our sofa was delivered last week, settled.
Whoa,
Yes.
you have a sofa.
We have moved up in the world. So we don't just have dining chairs. We now have a sofa and 2 dining chairs.
Whoa.
And a table and a bed. And,
All right, so
it's
the
like a big
essentials.
thing. Yeah, the essentials. It was a big thing to get a new sofa.
Wow.
So
you're actually like moved into the apartment up in the New Hampshire area, right?
Yes.
Yes.
New Hampshire.
Close to Maine.
Yes.
So
Love
you're closer to far away from us.
It's like good 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Not bad,
and,
right?
You know, from after being out west, everything is forever away.
I can't imagine.
Like at 80 miles an hour, hours and hours and hours away. Here it's, 2 hours, no big deal.
One of the things that I remember when I was studying for my real estate licensing exam was that there are certain parts of the country that are set into grids, and we'd have to look at the northeast corner of the northwest quarter of a quadrant of an area.
Yes.
And I remember when I was flying out I guess it was out to California for a conference while I was still studying for my exam. I looked down, we were in the middle of the country somewhere, and I could see all those big blocks of what seemed like such open space.
And it is open space. It is just, it's wide open space, and the wind does blow swiftly across the plains. But, I love those flights too, because you're looking at these grids, but then you're seeing these great circles, and you're like, wow,
yeah,
this is really great. It's how they water.
Is that what it is?
What's it called?
It's the circles in the middle of the squares. That's
like irrigation.
God, yeah. Well, it's a spigot. But it rotates.
Ah.
So my husband would know exactly what it's called because he's had to move one around. I'm just a tenderfoot.
There you go.
As he says.
So now you're surrounded by a lot more water and a lot more people.
Oh my gosh, and I love it.
Good.
We just go down to the beach and walk to the water every day, and I've touched every shell possible. And we're always finding something fantastic. And
that's why I walk on the boardwalk and not on the beach, because I'm a beach comber. As soon as I put my feet in the sand, my eyes go down, and I'm looking for some interesting piece of sea glass or shell or pebble that's in the sand. Yep, absolutely. So I guess we have some people joining us.
All right, we're going to start us off with the Instagram. Marilyn Bresler joined. Hello, Marilyn.
Hey, Marilyn.
Lori Royce is on.
Hi, Lori.
Windsor Lock Superintendent.
Windsor Lock Superintendent?
Huh, sounds like a locksmith.
No, honey, Windsor Locks is a town in Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's near the airport. It's where the airport is actually, Bradley Airport. But Windsor Locks Superintendent, I don't know who that is.
Oh, Windsor Locks. Oh, yeah. All right, never mind. Welcome. That's a new name. Anthony Lucas 028. I'm going to guess was born on February 28th, but that's just a guess. Jude Guar, 175, joined.
It's hard on Instagram because we don't know who the people are. They all have Instagram
Right.
handles.
Yes.
So you don't know. Everybody's like, I'm Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl, but that's easy for me. Yes, Paul.
Now flipping over to the Facebook, starting us off, Jillian Goldrich. Hello.
Hello again, Jillian.
Anna Maria Milani. Hi, everyone. And all the way from Eureka, California, Rita Johnson Cotterman. Well, hello, everyone. And then we have our friend from Cape Cod, Darren Showers. Hello from Cape Cod.
Hey, Darren.
Donna Nahajlo, yes, you heard the J, because she's the only one that pronounces it that way. Says, hi, everyone. Marianne Murray Summers is in the house. Throws up a hello as
Hey, Marianne.
Beth Ann Wilkes. Hi, everyone. And Lila Foster. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ah.
I don't know how to call him a gentleman. I call him more like a bull in a china shop.
Jacqueline Rossi. Hello, everyone. And Beverly Reiser. Good evening, all. Maria Brandt says good evening. And Donna Masung says good evening. Hey, I feel like we just saw Donna.
Yeah. You know why?
Because we did.
We did. She was here yesterday.
Gloria Hamilthies. Hello from Spring.
Texas?
Texas, yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
Hello from
Hello.
spring.
No, I thought
Spring,
March
Texas.
21st was spring, right? March 21st?
Yeah, it's also spring, but it's spring in spring.
So spring has sprung.
Spring has
Oh
sprung.
my
Oop,
God.
Deb Massa says hello from Pittsburgh. Coming out to see you guys in July. Can't wait. Yay! We can't wait either.
Just don't come July 9th. We have a wedding.
Right,
Oh,
right,
it's a Sunday anyway.
right. Maria Brandt, too funny. Donna Masang, hi, Paul, with a one of these emojis. What do you call it? What kind of emoji is that?
It's a smile emoji, honey.
No, but there's no teeth. So it's like a happy, content. I'm not quite sure. I wonder if there's like an emoji for dummies book. What do you think? What do you think?
A person with no teeth smile.
Yeah. Like when your mom, the doctor's aide kid, the PA came in and said, all right, take your teeth out. She says, these are mine. She didn't have any fake
You were
teeth.
taking her down for a test and said, okay, you're going to take your teeth out. No, you're not. They're mine.
Jacqueline Rossi says, look at all those pretty colors.
We have lots of pretty colors here.
Rosemary Christopher, good evening. And our local friend, Michelle Mingo Lewis. Hey there. Nancy Parks, where did you live?
I moved to
Where
Oh,
did,
dead.
where did
Previously,
she
previously.
not live?
previously I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So my husband was raised outside of Albuquerque and we settled there and enjoyed living and working in the West, still selling yarn, still working with great knitters and crocheters all the time.
Yay. Lorraine Scheller is in the house. Hi, all. And Rita Johnson Cotterman. I'm a beachcomber too. Love
Oh,
it.
I love it.
Kristen Parkhurst. Good evening from Westbrook. Hey, local.
Yes, we thought we'd see her this weekend.
School is almost out, and I hope to finally get to your shop.
Yay.
Deb Massa says end of July will be coming through. Yay.
Oh, good. Okay.
And Sharon Sanford. Hello from Rochester, Michigan.
Yay, Michigan.
And Rita Johnson Cotterman says the emoji needs dentures. Anna Maria Milani, I need that book too, Paul Meyer. Never know what all those emojis mean. This is true.
It is a book, and you can't tell. And you know, you could be very embarrassed if you put up the wrong emoji for something today, because it could be totally something different.
It could. All right, we're all caught
I
up.
know what the poop emoji is.
Yeah, we do.
Like Minnie. Say hi, Minnie. Hi, buddy. So Whitney and I were talking about summer knitting, and school is just about ready to be out. If you get kids who are in school and they're gonna, like, all of a sudden they're home for the summer, what do you do with them? How do you keep? You got vacations coming up. We got family. If you live on the shoreline where we are, maybe family's coming to stay with you for a little bit of the summer. If you don't, I was like, no, absolutely not. If you don't live on the shoreline, maybe you're renting a place up here, because we have lots of summer residents in this area. So, how do you keep your knitting going during these crazy times? Now, you spent a lot of time on the road and time in hotels before you actually got up to this area where you're traveling pretty much daily now, and not as often. So what are some of the things that you might suggest? We did go through the shop and look at some things. So what are your thoughts?
So I've found a lot of seasonality in my knitting, and I find that like during summer, while I love knitting sweaters, like that would be my go-to project. It's hard to knit a sweater when it's not sweater weather, as Paul would say. So I try to look for more compact projects, things that are maybe a little easier to remember, that I'm not going to get distracted by all the things going on around, like pets and kids and camps and schedules and all that kind of stuff. I always try and, pick something that's appropriate for what I have going.
Yeah, and I can understand that, because right now I'm working on the pressed flowers cardigan and getting toward the end of it, but I still need my chart. And so wherever I go with that pattern, my chart comes with me.
Yes.
And if we're in the car and I have to put the chart up on the dashboard of the car on my lap, it can be a little bit much to be knitting on something like that, a big pattern like that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. So we're going to talk about that, but what are you laughing at?
Nancy Park says, you might want to check in on Tucker. Not sure that's a toy.
What's he got?
He's got his chewy stick. It is a toy. It's a chewy toy.
Oh.
Lila Foster says, hot air balloon festival.
Yes.
Hot air balloon festival.
So fantastic in Albuquerque.
So, all right. So let's talk about a couple of these projects that we pulled out. Well, speaking of them.
Yes. So let's start with some shawls. You've got a great one.
This is our patriot
games.
Thank you. Patriot
Shawlette.
games. My goodness. Yes.
It's
so
a shawlette.
This is just a fun little piece. And
whoa. The microphone.
We've seen it lots of times here on Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl, and it's a great piece because you don't need to have a lot of yarn. It takes one skein of each color, and they're portable. It's a great little portable project. And once you get the pattern in your mind, it increases on one end, decreases on the other end, and you just keep going.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, and just count your rows, and there you have it for that pattern. So that's one of my favorite little pieces over the summer. What else you got there?
So I'm holding this Steely Waves from Noro 22, and this is a predominantly garter stitch project. So I like a good garter stitch project because you're always going to knit. And this one does have a little bit of short rows, so just enough to keep you engaged, but you're not dealing with a bunch of different colors. You're still only dealing with a very basic palette, not a lot of ends, not a lot to worry about. And this is a great shawl to work on. It folds up small.
Right. And you can put it in any, your little knitting bag, and it's a perfect size.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very packable.
Yep.
We've got another version of it right here in the blue. They've, in the same magazine, this is another, garter stitch, just a few short row shaping rows in a lighter weight yarn.
Yep.
Good, easy, but very effective, very lovely project.
And this one is called Currents, and that's the #1 pattern. Oh. Are you having your own party there?
There it says, from our view, it looks funny. You might want to move the doll.
Oh.
Darren.
Tucker.
Darren. I'm going to fix it.
Well, Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl, Twisted Stitches is truly twisted tonight.
I'm looking at Paul.
He can't even breathe right now, folks. Do you hear that wheezing in the background? That's Paul losing it behind the camera.
Oh my God.
Darren. Oh my God. That was just too much. So you can tell the show is like, I'm really glad we don't do podcasts. Because you just not get to enjoy this live spontaneity that we have here on our show. You know,
Oh my God.
can we like
Yeah.
let's bring it. Let's bring
Sarah,
it back.
stop making me laugh.
There.
Looking at what he was saying.
So some other travel friendly projects.
Thanks.
Oh my
Let's
God.
go to this one. This was the LYS Love Shawl. Not that it was. It just is. But we chose this one because it's done in pieces. So you have segments, right?
Segments.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Paul's making me crazy. Paul and Darren, we're going to separate you two. So the LYS Love Shawl by Jessica A's. You've got your center panel, and then you've got your two side panels, nice and easy. And you can make the panels longer if you wanted to, just by adding another ball of yarn. So that is another of the summer projects that we thought about.
So this one brings up a really good point, I think, that we should be absolutely certain to make, because sometimes in the summer you kind of lose your knitting mojo because you're being torn so many different directions. There's so many things going on. So I like to keep in mind those smaller projects and projects that you are going to be able to give as a gift maybe when the holidays roll around.
Right.
So we've got some other projects that would be great gifts, small portable things, like a pair of mittens or a hat.
Yeah, I didn't even bring up any
We have
hats.
no hats to show you, but you know what a hat looks like, and you know how to knit them. Those are great because you can just cast on and just knit for the joy of knitting and maintaining that sanity throughout the family visits to the coast or the long car rides or,
Are we there yet?
Oh, yes. Yes. How many times have we heard, are we there yet?
Right.
The fighting or, whatever's going on.
Right.
Those things we can take comfort in because they're familiar.
Right. And even though the only other person in the car with me is Paul, sometimes I just need to not pay attention. And
road trip.
So,
that means a road trip song.
No, we're not singing the road trip song. We're not singing the road trip song.
No.
Does Whitney know the road trip song?
I don't think I want to know the road trip song, honestly, Paul.
Beverly Riser, another great happy Monday. Sideways laughing face emoji.
Great happy Monday. It's a great happy Monday. Hats.
Oh, great hats. Great hats.
Anna Maria Milani, our hat knitter. I remember saying at the beginning of this year, I was going to be knitting a hat in between every project. Well, I'm just happy to get from one project to the next right now. I'm still trying to knit my hats in between. But the Alaska hat, that's always a fun one. And just something simple, you just want to cast on and keep going. Some cables and a little bling every now and then doesn't hurt anybody.
That's so fun.
Isn't that great?
It's so fun.
I love this one.
And these are really, really just
simple.
Yeah. And then you have, by the end of the summer, you have a stack of hats going. You've got gifts for teachers or neighbors or your dog walker or
not our dog walker. That was an Adventures in Dog Walking.
All sorts of people that you need small gifts for that will really appreciate that, handmade
you took
item.
the time.
Yeah, just
absolutely.
something small.
Jillian Goldrich, just poke the kids with the needles. Beverly Riser, my daughter's always asking for dishcloths. And Michelle Mingo Lewis says there's a video online where the wife forgets her knitting. The husband says she's fine. She doesn't need it. She proceeds to backseat drive every move, so he turns around and goes back home to get her knitting to shut her up. Julia Johnson Roy, hello everybody, hello. Anna Maria Milani, hats are great. Use up stash yarn.
Yes, they are great to use up stash yarn. Absolutely. And speaking of dishcloths, it's great. Where did my yarn go? Our hip to be square blanket, coastal
the hip
cotton.
To be square.
Our coastal cotton yarn is great for washcloths or this whole blanket. You can do. We were at we taught knitting at a corporate retreat last week, And we started off with everybody just knitting a small swatch until we taught them how to cast off. And so they all wound up with a little coaster, and then they cast it out again to knit their next project. So they all went home with something at least that they could knit. So it's great, you know, whether you're knitting or crocheting, these little squares are a great idea. And if you're doing something like this, you can certainly take that in the car too, because you're not using a lot of yarn for each one. Yes.
Says socks are always a good small project.
Yes.
Michelle Mingo-Lewis, also socks.
Yes, also socks, except that you won't find me knitting them because I'm not a sock knitter, but that's great.
Well, expounding on that little square idea, this gorgeous sweater.
I love this cardigan. I just think it's adorable.
So these little granny square motifs are so fun to knit on the go because you don't need a lot. And these are taking advantage of some striping yarn. But you just crochet and go, and you have this little pile of your crocheted squares, and then you're ready.
Yep. So all you have to bring is, you know, a ball of your main color to knit your squares. And there's so much yardage on these that you could get a lot done with just one ball of yarn.
So, and all these different colors came from that skein.
Yep.
So great.
Yeah. And, I thought I had grabbed these. This is another one of the projects that they have this summer in the Noro magazine are the little yoga socks. And those are knitted with Sonata Shima too. Look, it's like a little sock puppet.
It does. I didn't notice this has a really great little cable down the top.
Oh, look at that. I
That's
didn't
so
notice it either.
Such a simple detail.
Yeah.
It just elevates a
cute
nice
little
project.
Yeah. So it keeps your interest too, you know, when you get there. Where's that cable start? And there it is. So
there it is.
Yep.
Let's see. Well, also functional projects. Like, it's nice to have a new beach bag. So this is a great early project. You know, start now, take it to the beach later this summer.
And this project seems to never get old. It's timeless.
Like my jokes.
What, honey?
Like my jokes.
Yeah,
they
like
never
your
get old.
jokes. Yeah, timeless.
Totally timeless. This one's made in Queensland Cairns, which comes in a multitude of colors, and every skein is an adventure in and of itself.
Right.
To see how it's going to work up. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
I love when people say to me, just pick my colors, because they're all great. You know, just they don't know what colors they want to do it in. And so if you're ordering online, we're happy to pick your colors for you and help you out. But so this one has the green bottom, and then we did the pinks and blues along with the greens on the top there. Really, so you can see the difference. You can actually see the two different balls of yarn that we used here. The green for the bottom, and then this was your contrasting color in it. And so that's a really popular one. And then there's this one too.
Brand new from Noro. This uses our very unique Japanese paper and linen yarn called Asaganu. This is such a cool product. And this little bag is, very simple construction. Very simple construction. You're making two pieces. You're doing a little striping. You're adding a little handle. These are all very beginner friendly projects. And this is an indestructible shopping tote. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And what we did here at the shop was we took some great color combinations and put together kits. So if this is a project that you're interested in, I think I just went through and I thought, these colors are the blues and browns work really great together. And this one reminds me of watermelon. That one's so summery.
Super for the summer. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Lily Pulitzer inspired.
Right? So your
designer.
pink, and this one, your pink would be your main color, your greens are your stripes. And then this is the reverse of the kit that you see here. Because here you get in our kit you have the blue as your main color and your silver as your contrasting colors. So lots of different ways to work that. If this is something you're interested in, give us a call and I'll walk you through. I haven't put all these kits up on the website yet. There's just so many of them, so many color combinations, but I'll have to get them up for you.
Michelle Mingo-Lewis says, I'd be afraid to take that one to the beach because of the water.
Oh, we talked about that.
Good point.
We did just talk about this. So while Asaganu is not washable per se, you're not going to ruin it by getting it wet. Like you wouldn't want it to soak, because it is made with an art paper, which is really fantastic, but it does have linen incorporated with it. And I have heard that people have washed it and not had ill effects. And my suspicion is that they're using just like clear water.
Right.
You know, there's really, I mean, if you're going to make a garment, you're going to need to, at the very least, like rinse it out.
Right.
You know, at least once a season. You know, and for a summer garment, probably if it's something that's in regular rotation,
right,
you're going to want to be able to zhuzh it around in some water and lay it flat to dry to either reshape it or to just make sure that it's not carrying around like the smell from last night's dinner,
right,
or
right,
you know, a little
because I had thought, well, you know, when I look at the projects that a Saganu is used for, nothing is actually against your skin.
Typically, yes.
So whether you're just hanging it out to air, if you're wearing it as a vest, you know, over something, a dress or a jumpsuit or something like that, or if you just want to rinse it, as you're saying, just give it a little rinse in some cool water and then gently lay it out flat to dry.
Absolutely.
So, but you don't put it in the washing machine, and you certainly don't, you know, you don't agitate it.
Yes, it's not, the Japanese art paper is not like taking a piece of construction paper and saturating it and then trying to lift it out of the water, and you're imagining it just like
right,
totally disintegrating. It's not going to do
like
that.
when you spill coffee on your you know, on your work on your desk, you just kind of go
yeah.
Well, good to know.
Yeah,
good to know. So we learned something about that. Yes, Paul.
Nancy Park says, Michelle Mingo Lewis, I agree, it requires dry cleaning, so probably not for the beach.
Right, but what we're saying, well, yes, so my suggestion is it wouldn't be used in your beach blanket.
Yes.
Right.
But you're not, but you know, if you're carrying your suntan lotions and things like that in there, it's going to be, it's more durable than we think.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
we tend to be super cautious with it, but it's what I'm learning is that it's a little more durable than I would have thought.
I might have to knit a swatch and just soak it and see how long it hangs out.
Yeah. Okay.
A little science
Good,
experiment.
let us know.
Yeah, I'll report back.
Pamela Rose Atkins, hi y'all.
Hey,
and Joanne Gozowski, what is the name of this pattern?
The tote pattern?
It's called St. Augustine. Can you see that on the screen, Paul?
No.
No.
These are all beach inspired. In this one, the concept was
Here Comes the Sun.
yeah.
Here comes the sun.
Can you see it
now? Interesting fact, since we were talking about Albuquerque earlier, St. Augustine and
You're making it
Albuquerque
blurry, honey.
go back and forth on which city is the oldest in the
No,
country.
I can't. I can't see that. It's blurry for some reason. It's more blurry. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, there it is.
St. Augustine. And that's in the New Noro magazine. So if you have the magazine, you can look it up in there. If you don't, we have it here. Or you can go to the Noro Knitting app and download the magazine. And you'll have it there on the app. And not to go without mentioning our new slack tied shawl.
Absolutely. This is a fantastic project. It's a 2-row repeat. So, you know.
Tell us about this one. Now, you use Uchiwa on this, right? On this one, particularly.
No, I didn't use Uchiwa.
Which one did you
I
used? I thought you used...
Yukata.
Oh, Yukata. Sorry, Yukata.
Yes.
I got the U's mixed up.
Allowed.
The U's and the Y's.
You gotta make sure.
You gotta make sure.
You gotta make sure. So I used two different skeins so that I could alternate colors, and it worked out beautifully. And I had plenty left over, so I could knit another one and have a gift.
Right.
And you're just alternating every 2 rows. You're alternating your color of yarn, but it's only a 2-row pattern. So every simple. Side row is the same. Every wrong side row is the same. You just have to remember to change colors.
Right. So really easy. And then if you're knitting it with Sonata Shima,
you just knit it straight off the skein.
Right. There are no color changes because the color changes in Sonata Shima are so long that you have nice wide stripes in that
You
one.
do. It
right?
has a really nice, subtle, kind of like faded stripe.
Right.
Versus this like real regimented 2-skein stripe.
Yes, dear.
Beth Ann Wilkes says, I have heard that it's better to stay away from using metal needles. Use wood or bamboo to knit a saganu.
I can see that
Yeah,
being
no
true.
slippery.
So yes. So one of the cool things about the construction of a saganu is it's actually
Open it up.
it's actually like 2 strands that are almost stitched together. So they have a little bit of a binder on them. And you know, you could potentially catch it. I don't see it on this one. I can like just faintly see it on this blue. Because it's really, I mean, it's like spiderweb thin, the binder that's on there. It's a little bit easier to see on this blue one. So yeah, you could potentially catch that with a metal needle because metal needles tend to be more of a stiletto point.
Right.
So a rounder needle like wood or bamboo is going to allow that fiber to just kind of flow over the needle tip. You have less of a chance of splitting or picking or just having a bad experience.
For me, with the way I knit anyway, I would think that this would slide too much for me on a metal needle.
Yeah, because it's not.
I would want it to grab a little bit more. I think the wooden needle is going to give it a little more friction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think, probably a good recommendation from whomever gave that to you.
Yes.
That was Beth Ann Wilkes. And Michelle Mingo Lewis says, good to know. I use nothing but metal needles.
I know you are a slippery needle.
You know, I was a diehard metal needle user, and as of late, I have been really loving the Likey Grove needles.
The bamboos.
Those are bamboo, so they're a really lovely finish on that bamboo. Really, it's not like your grandma's bamboo needle.
Right.
It's
And I
such
think
a great improvement in finish.
I think if
You
we,
likey those?
I do Likey those.
I think if we look at our wood needles today, we're going to see that they're so different than the ones that we had years ago, where the tips were almost round.
Yeah.
As opposed to,
Yes.
there's no point at all, and there was no point to using them because there was no point to using them.
Yeah.
I'm sounding like you now, Paul.
It's still humorous, says Pamela Rose Atkins
Yes,
would
I
say.
am still humorous. I'm a lot more humorous than you are.
I don't know about all that.
Oh, I do.
No.
So, any comments there before we move
Nope.
on?
Yeah, they don't like your jokes.
I don't like
Rita Johnson Cotterman says, does Likey have a square needle?
They don't yet.
No, I don't.
We're saying yet because you never know what Likey's going to come out with.
You really.
Ooh, we got some great stuff coming out in the fall from Likey.
Yes.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Always with the innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a great time with it too. So lots of adventure going on. So this was another, well, I don't want to say simple, but I think mosaic is pretty easy to knit. And yeah, you might need a chart on this one. But this was it's one of my favorites. I love Lorelei. It's such a pretty pattern.
I love that you can get started with, the garter stitch section and just kind of work through this. And it's like a progressive knit. So maybe you're starting when you're, in motion.
Right.
On an airplane or in the car, or, whatever. And maybe get to a point where you have that respite, relaxed knitting time.
Right. You can go onto this piece, onto the mosaic piece, and then onto your lace. Yep, I agree. And, of course, we put a little extra color in here, but this could be all one color in that garter stitch section. So very, very easy. And, while the two of us are jabbering here about summer projects, what are some things other than socks and hats that you like to knit this summer?
Absolutely.
Over your, for your summer knitting, or crochet? What are the projects or does your knitting not change at all?
Sharon Sanford says, that is tempting me with a heart emoji. And Rita Johnson Cotterman, that is a beautiful shawl.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. Actually, Michelle knitted this one. And this was one of our retreat projects last year.
Nancy Parks, what is the name of that shawl?
This is Lorelei. Lorelei, and I don't know. It might be on the website. It might not. And I'm saying it might not because it was a retreat project. So sometimes those don't make it to the website, even though we have them here in the shop. So I'll have to check and see. And if there's someone who's interested, let me know if it's not on the website.
Di Bianco too joined us on the Instagram, as did TTFN CBC and Yarn Ballet, as well as Diane the Realtor.
Wow. Hi, Diane.
The Realtor.
Diane the
Nancy,
Realtor?
did you catch that?
Diane the Realtor. Who is Diane the Realtor? Are you a realtor from Connecticut? Of course, I always get interested in that because I was a realtor in Connecticut for so many years. So I'm wondering, do I know
real?
this person? For real? For real estate, honey. Not realtor, realtor. It's not real a tour. It's just real estate. Okay, that's a real estate thing.
Deb Massa says, I love knitting no matter what the weather.
Okay.
Nancy Parks, I want to knit my new grandnephew some little stuffed toys and a Christmas stocking.
Oh, perfect.
Well, we just got, I do believe in my car, I have the new Lullaby Knits book, that Jody's new book that just came out. And there's a little ducky in there. It's just so freaking adorable. It's the cutest thing. And then he has Gus, is the little toy that was in, hold on a minute. Hold on one moment, please.
Jody has designed some fantastic toys and using some of his really lovely yarns to work with, like Chow and Summer Delight.
Kristen Parker says, I would love to knit Christmas stockings too.
This is all great information.
Christmas stocking.
Sharon Sanford says, I really would love to attend one of your retreats eventually.
Oh, well, you know what it is.
You're in luck because we've got one coming up this fall.
This November. Here he is.
Oh,
look at Gus.
Undead Heidi just joined on the Instagram.
Hi, Undead Heidi. So this is
bear.
Gus. Gus is the bear.
Yeah. Is that the one that Darren wanted?
Darren loved this one, yeah.
Other Darren.
Other Darren, not Darren
not
Showers.
From Cape Cod. From East Lyme.
Oh, there it is, nice and clear. Isn't he adorable? I love his little sweater, his little feet, really cute. So that's Gus, and then I don't remember what the duckie's name is, but he's in the new book that just came out. Quacker.
Duck and Quack.
Good duck name,
right? Quacker.
Duck and Quack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I believe this one is from. Let me show you.
Oh,
Kristen Parker says, I heard the retreat is in my town at WE.
It is. It's at Water's Edge. It absolutely is, Kristen.
Michelle Mingaloo says, I like duck.
Look at this.
Michelle says, I like duck, and I cannot lie.
Isn't this adorable? Look at this little dress.
Nancy Park says, Paulette, I suggested we do some kind of fundraiser with everyone knitting Christmas stockings.
Knitting Christmas stockings. Well, let's talk more about that.
Let's
talk more about that.
Stockings.
Yeah.
All starts with an idea. A great idea,
Yes,
Nancy.
great idea.
So yes, the retreat is right at Water's Edge in Westbrook, and we have a great knitting and crochet class all included. And Whitney's going to be there doing she's going to be teaching us more about Ravelry and how to effectively use Ravelry. Yes. And so I'm going to be adding that to the retreat. So yeah, we got lots of great stuff going on. It's a fantastic thing, and we'd love to have everybody join us. So what else is going on there, Paul? I see you Paul's highlighting comments.
Nope, I'm posting the.
Hold on a second, guys.
So I'm glad you pulled the child sweater out because we think kids garments are fantastic.
Yes.
For summer knitting. Getting a little stockpile of gifts for family members, new family members.
Right.
And also cardigans or any sweater project that you could work in pieces.
My grandmother had so many baby blankets and she had the little like doily sets that she would make for everybody back in the 50s and 60s. She had drawers filled with those things. Whenever there was an occasion, you didn't have to worry. You knew that she was going into that stockpile and she was going to find something that she wanted that was really special for everybody. So yes, piling up gifts like that, you just never know when you're going to need them. And you know what else I was thinking, Nancy, when you were talking about doing baby gifts for family members, you have a new family member coming. You have a new puppy. Ooh. And what about dog coats?
Oh, dog sweaters are so cute.
Yeah, great sweaters for your dogs, and just lots of fun. And they're small. Well, for my dog, they're small.
Right, for mine too. And that can be a good, stash buster. Or how cute is it when people do a little dog version of their favorite sweaters?
Yeah, you put your little slip stitch pattern or your little Fair Isle pattern on there for the dog.
Cute.
Yep,
so cute.
Absolutely. So did anybody else come up with their favorite summer knitting things or?
No.
Nope. I know I talked with Jillian today and she's got a couple of things on her needles, and I'm determined. I'm not putting anything. Well, I say that until next week when I decide to cast on something else. I've got to get my. Oh, you want to see it? I think I brought it in. I actually have sleeves started, so I'm very excited about that. I wish I could knit as fast as all my fans and our customers, because you guys you move along so quickly. And so here we have one sleeve coming up.
Yay! Look at that.
One sleeve coming up on the, isn't that fun? Love it.
Fantastic.
I really do love this one. So I can't wait. We have several people. Anna's was done, and now it's gonna be undone because she has to fix something on it. And there's always something,
It happens.
And Whitney, what did you just finish recently?
Something new.
Darn it, I'm trying to put her on the spot, but she's not letting me.
Well, Lynn's trying so hard to get me to spill the tea on yet to be published design, and I just won't do it. But I did cast on last night with Zoe a new version of my jewel tee, which is great in long sleeve or short sleeve. So I'm going to make a short sleeve version. Has a little decorative stitching in the neck, and I'm going to do it all in one color instead of alternating for the little jewel section. And I hope to share that with everybody pretty soon.
Before or after you share the other one?
Before.
Rita Johnson Cotterman says, I love my doodle sweater. It's been a favorite.
Oh, good. Yay.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. And Gina's looks great, too. And we had so many people knitting that. In fact, Judy Snicken, one of our local fans, she was hoping that she was going to get here while you were here last time, but she couldn't make it. Hers is coming out great too. Everybody, they're just all looking fantastic.
Speaking of Gina Bates is in the house. Says hi.
Hi, Gina. She had a few conversations with Gina, right?
Yes,
when she was doing her sweater.
She says, "Love mine too."
Yep. That's the nice part about being when you have a designer who's accessible.
Kristen Parker says, do you have a sample of doodle sweater?
I have a sample of doodle sweater. I have mine. It's still on the needles, but here I can show it to you. I know right where it is. It sits in that corner, waiting for me to get back to it.
Sounds like my scarf.
What row are you on now, Paul?
25.
Yay! That's double the amount of rows since
February.
Well, yeah, but since we were all together for what were we all together for?
Potluck? Was it the potluck?
The potluck, the normal potluck luncheon, right?
Was someone after?
Since then, LYS Day.
Oh, LYS Day.
Oh.
So here's my doodle sweater. So let me show you. I'll show you a picture of the
That's the back. But you'd hardly even know you've done such a good job.
You're right. There you go. So I'm doing the muted colors in the front, the black bottom. And so there, can you see that, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do not have a picture of a completed sweater here.
Kristen Parker says, gorgeous. And Rita Johnson Cotterman. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful, Paulette.
Yep. Yep. So, well, the good news is I don't have to worry about it now because it's summer, but I'll have it done.
Exactly.
I will have it done by the winter
Just,
Like me and my
or
scarf.
by fall when it's time to
Yes.
wear it.
yes.
So yes, I've had to put it aside because there's so many other things that have to get
you
done
know,
right now.
sometimes patterns, or not patterns, but projects have to marinate.
Sometimes they
Ooh,
do.
like a
They-
good steak.
Yes, they just need to like go to. It's not really time out because you're not upset with it. It's just
No, I just need
needs to
right.
take a break and you come back to it.
But what I find too is the more sweaters I knit,
Shwada wada.
the better I get at understanding the construction of them, even if they are top down and knitted in the round.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, there are still things to know about how far you knit before you separate for the sleeves. And does the armhole need to be longer? One of the things that we talked about, Michelle and I had talked about with my my pressed flowers sweater, is that I may wear a small size, but I need a deeper armhole. So
and you may just like the way that fits.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So
I don't like
just-
my armhole up here. I like to be able to
No.
have some room in the arm.
And it's really important to consider in this, as an aside, like if the pattern is designed to be worn with a certain percentage of positive ease, meaning it's larger than your body measurement, sometimes the design will then call for a more narrow arm side because the designer is assuming that the sweater is going to stop further down your arm. So they're taking into consideration that arm is not actually going to be up in your armpit.
Right.
Which, you know, if you knit it truer to your body size with less positive ease, it moves that seam and could make it potentially uncomfortable.
Right.
So just being aware of what you like
Right.
is always good.
So, and you know, like I said, each sweater I knit, I learn more and more about construction of sweaters, and I'm loving it. I would rather knit a sweater any day of the week than just about anything else.
Yes.
Beverly Reiser, I'm knitting and crocheting several different projects plus sewing patterns on projects. And Michelle Mingo Lewis says, I'm a finish one before starting another knitter.
That is
You
a
are
monogamous.
a finished one before starting another, and I honor you for that. Although I have to say, when you're knitting for the designers, sometimes you've got more than one going at a time. Or maybe not. Maybe you do finish one before you start the next one. I don't really know about that. You'd have to say, but yeah. You know, sometimes you have more things. Maybe it's just that you have so many things in the wings that it seems to me that you're knitting all of them at once, where maybe you're not. Maybe you're knitting one and then you're going on to the next one and going on to the next one.
You know, I put a lot of my works in progress, my whips, put them all in storage. So I just started new when I moved.
You started midpoint when you moved.
Yeah.
And they seem like they're new, like you've never touched them.
Kelly Kohlhofer, I have 2 crochet and 2 knit projects in works right now.
Yes.
And Michelle Mingo Lewis, yep, I take it easy one first, then knit the more time consuming ones last.
I think that's the opposite of how they tell you to do homework in school. Though.
Right, eat the frog.
Yeah, you gotta
Eat that frog.
Eat that
Swallow.
Aren't frogs poisonous?
it depends on the type of frog.
Right. But there was an old expression that, well, even in prospecting in real estate, they used to tell us eat the frog first, prospect first every day, get the hard stuff out of the way, and then go on to the easy stuff.
Yes.
But I would think, for me, if I know that multiple color, what was that in Tarsia project that you just finished, if I had started that one and I had to stick with it till I finished it, I might be glad that it was the last one on my needles, because I probably would have stopped. I'd have quit.
Sharon Sanford says, I'm feeling inspired, Paulette. I have not knitted a sweater, but I'm feeling more confident listening to you both.
Oh, good.
We have this great class
Do
here
it.
at Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. It's called Learn to Knit Your First Sweater class. And so we work with you through your first sweater. So if you're not ready to try to do that on your own, and even though it may, I don't know where you live, maybe remote, we'll be happy to work with you through your first sweater project. No problem at all. No problem.
Jackie Vandenberg, I made a gem shawl that I love.
That's another Whitney project.
I'm knitting the sweater right now. So there's the gem shawl and then the gem sweater. The sweater came first, and then the shawl.
Got it.
Sharon Sanford, 3 projects at a time for me. And Rosemary Christopher, thank you all for your ideas and laughter.
Oh. We've got all the laughs, that's for sure.
Rita Johnson Cotterman, Paulette is great at teaching. I have 2 finished with her help. And Sharon Sanford says, oh my goodness, I will definitely be interested in that.
Yeah.
Kristen Parker says, I need that class. What kind do you teach us to make? First, for what kind?
We have a couple of different. I got it. What kind of sweater?
Teach us to make for first sweater.
Yeah, we have a couple of different projects. I mean, the last one we did, everybody chose their own project. We just made sure that it, based on their skill level, it wasn't too intricate for them. They weren't diving in rather than putting their toe in the water. So yeah, we like to take a look at what you've knitted in the past, get an idea of what, because if you choose a sweater that has lots of shaping and or color work or lace work, and that's something you've not done, well then we don't want you to try too many new things at once. Sometimes constructing a sweater is enough new things to learn at one time if you've not done color work or mosaic. But there's also the doodle sweater. It's really pretty easy, I think.
Every stitch is knit once you get past the ribbing.
Right, exactly. It's not like you're knitting one row, purling one row. So and many of them are top down, but there were some that were bottom up, and there was one that was actually had sleeves that had to be sewn in. So it just depends on what it is you want to do. Question? Paul, you're looking. Oh, I thought Paul looked over. I thought he was reading the screen. So we're good there?
Yeah.
Okay. So this has been lovely.
This has been great. It's really nice to be here with you on the show.
As opposed to in a remote place.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, we did that for long enough. So we'll try to get you out here more often. I appreciate you taking the ride out tonight. And I knew that you were in the area. So it was really nice of you. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. Yes, Paul.
Kristen Parkhurst, doodle sweater I would love, as I have a golden doodle.
Yes, that would be so fun.
So we've got some great yarn. So let's chat. You can either send me an email. Shopify on our website has chat. You can send me a chat message and we'll talk more about it. Yes, Paul.
Nancy Parks, important to have a sense of accomplishment, not just new stitches, etc.
Yes.
Beverly Reiser, like shells knitted from sleeves to sleeves across. Michelle Mangalo, so do it. Sharon Sanford, fun evening. Thanks to you both.
Oh, you are welcome. You're welcome. So I'm going to let Whitney dip into the sharing bucket.
Who wants to win?
All right, Whitney, come on
Stir
in.
it up.
Round and round she goes. Where she stops, only Whitney knows.
Okay.
Oh, you got a couple? That's okay.
Whoa, that's okay.
We've been able to do more than one.
Exactly.
We're feeling generous tonight.
Like the Monopoly
you
thing.
Names. We gotta get
they were entwined. So
well, then I guess
it's only true. Jillian.
Oh no! I just
Whoa!
2 prizes to you.
Jillian Goldrich. Wow.
And the other is Mary Huber.
Yay! Yay!
So thank you for sharing.
Jillian, this time you're coming here. What?
Olivia Aruba joined.
Hi, Olivia Aruba. That's Paul's cousin's daughter.
Yeah.
Hi, Olivia. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And you got on just in time for us to say goodnight to everybody. So thank you all for joining us. Whitney, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And we will see you all next week. If you have any questions about tonight's show, give us a call. Our number 203-856-6755. I got that in before Paul could get up and put the camera in my face. Or you know how to reach us at KnittyGrittyYarnGirl.com. Good night, everybody. Have a great week and stay safe. Bye-bye. We love you.